The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
Put the power back in your hands. This is Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark.
Welcome to Behind the Law. Happy weekend to you. We have a fantastic show in store. Joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Michaela Nichols. Michaela, how are you today?
Great.
You are not a lawyer. I am. You are the voice of the people. You ask the questions for the people at home, right?
That's my job.
And don't forget, we are here live to answer any questions you have during the program. The phone number's on the screen, 321-282-1055. Here is what's coming up today. A lot of people during the pandemic lost a job, quit a job, were forced out of a job. What do you do? When can you sue your employer and when can't you sue them? Carlos Leach is here. You love Carlos, great attorney. He handles a lot of employment law claims. We'll talk about that. Also, roofing right now it's scary in Florida because there's so many bad roofing companies out there. I have exactly what you need to do if you need a new roof. My guys from Universal Roof and Contracting will be here as well. Are you ready?
I am.
Here's what we're going to do. A very quick break. When we return, Behind the Law will continue. Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life. Here we are, Michaela and I, one of my favorite places in all of Central Florida. One of my favorite things to do is axe throwing. It's so much fun. I love it. There's only one place we go though.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stumpy's Hatchet House. Its owners are here, Matthew, Estella. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Axe throwing in general, some people have never tried it. Why should we?
Why not? I mean, it's a great time. We have a great place here, wonderful staff. We have a wonderful beer selection. It's just good times all around.
And this place feels unbelievably homey to me. It feels cozy. It feels like I'm transported into a cabin in North Carolina or Montana or something. How did you create this?
Well, it came with a lot of hard work, some busted fingers, and a lot of trial and error. Yeah. We a lot of the natural woodwork in here. Actually, all the natural woodwork was done by myself and one other person.
And a lot of people don't think about corporate events. They think corporate events. Oh, what restaurant am I going to rent out? What ballroom? What a great place to have a corporate event, a corporate meeting.
Yeah, it's we have TVs in here, so we do have ways that if you want to do a presentation of any kind, we can accommodate that. We have a PA system, so if you even want to do a tournament with a nice, let's get this thing going and rile up the crowd, you can. We even let it to where we have a free jukebox that you can come in, pick any music you like. It's great. You have a good time.
Jam out. If you haven't been axe throwing yet, come to Stumpy's Hatchet House right now, or if you have a meeting coming up, Stumpy's Hatchet House is a place for you. Have you been threatened by the IRS? You are not helpless. You have the power to fight wage garnishments and fight levies on your accounts. I'm Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life. Welcome back to the show. One area of law that's a mystery to a lot of people, lawyers included, is employment law. When do you sue your boss? If you own a business, what do you need to do to protect yourself from lawsuits? Really, there's one name that you need to know when it comes to employment law in this town. You reach for Leach. Carlos Leach is here. What's going on? The billboards say reach for Leach, right? That's what I was saying.
That's what they should do, absolutely.
Reach for Leach. Welcome back to the show, Carlos. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Appreciate you having me back.
Why do so many lawyers not want to practice employment law like you do?
I don't know why they don't. I think they probably just don't know much about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a niche practice. So the fear of the unknown may be that deterrent.
Yeah. What I've noticed is a lot of people are angry with their boss. It happens all the time, but the vast majority of those people that are angry don't actually have a case. What are you looking for when someone calls you saying they want to sue their employer?
It's true. I'll say the large majority of the people that contact our office typically do not have a case. But what we look for is this. We want to see, is there a statute or rule of law that the employer has broken? That's it.
Yeah. What are some of those? What are some of those situations?
Well, I mean, the most common are usually somebody has been mistreated on the job, for example. They may have been mistreated because they have a disability. Or we see, unfortunately, many women who return to work after having a baby, they aren't treated the same as they used to be. Or a classic example is somebody gets hurt on the job, and all of a sudden they go from being a great employee to now they're being written up or even fired within 2 or 3 months after the accident. So those are the most common examples of wrongful terminations and issues that we deal with.
I always hear this right to work state. Florida's a right to work state. You can fire anyone for anything at any time. How true is that?
It's completely untrue.
Okay.
You have no right to work. And every time I hear it, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's a complete misnomer. Nobody should ever use that phrase. You do not have a right to work. But basically what it's trying to explain to you is this. In Florida, the employer can terminate you for any reason, right? They don't need a reason to terminate you. However, as I said earlier, if an employer terminates you and it runs afoul of some rule or statute, then that's when you have a problem. For example, there's this thing called the Family Medical Leave Act. Let's say you work for a company for 2 years, you hurt your back playing YMC basketball, and you need surgery. And you're out of work for 8 weeks. Well, if the company is large enough, you qualify for medical leave up to 12 weeks, unpaid leave.
Okay.
And the company should not retaliate against you for exercising your right to take that leave. Does that happen? It does happen.
Got it. What about pregnancy? So you have an employee who is carrying a child. What is the rule on that?
Well, typically, the female should not be treated any differently than their male co-parts because they had a baby or needed time off during the pregnancy, any of those reasons. There are even laws that will protect women when they return to work and they need to breastfeed after the fact. But unfortunately, it's a business interruption for a company when a female needs to take time off for having a baby, and some employers just can't get over that fact.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you have an issue with your employer and you want to run it by an attorney, he's the guy to call. I mean, I don't know who else I would call. I mean, you are the man when it comes to employment law in this town.
Yeah.
I'll connect you with Carlos right now at 321-282-1055 for any employment law question you have. It's not just employment law, though. You do workers' comp, you do personal injury.
Correct.
What is workers' comp exactly?
Well, it's just basically the body of law that explains what people's rights are when they're injured on the job. Tell you anything from how soon you need to report it, for example, within 30 days. What rights do you qualify for? Typically you get lost wages and medical benefits. Many people think that if they're injured on the job, they get compensated for a pain and suffering or emotional distress, but that's not the fact. It's a pretty simple, bland system. You get medical benefits and lost wages so long as those two things are related to the accident.
Got it. Yeah, workers' comp's an important thing for injured workers, obviously, because you can't work, you got hurt because you were working.
Right.
They should be taken care of somewhat.
They should. I mean, it's a fair system for the most part. In essence, if you get hurt on the job, nobody questions who's at fault. If you trip over a chair and you're hurt, the company doesn't get to deny your case because you got hurt on your own, and they have to provide those benefits. In exchange, you can't sue your employer in tort for personal injury and things like that. So for the most part, it's a fair system. Theoretically, does it work out that way all the time? No. No,
not at all.
Yeah.
All right, now let's switch gears a little bit, Carlos, and I'm not trying to get political here. I don't want to even tell you what I am, because I don't want 46% of you hating me, essentially. If you've heard the radio show, you probably know where I stand, but that's for another day, another show. We've had a lot of tort reform in Florida over the last few months, really, and tort reform is a platform that a lot of politicians are running for. If tort reform is great, it's great, it's great. I'll tell you how I feel about it.
Wait, can you tell me what that means first?
Carlos, go ahead. Great question.
That's a great question. Yeah. So when people use the term tort reform, it carries a certain meaning. And on the outside looking in, tort reform sounds great. But in short, the term tort, which deals with injuries and negligence theories, many people believe that there's a need to curtail that and shrink people's rights in order to sue based on the theory of negligence. So the reform comes in the legislature where they can limit certain rights that have already existed for certain people in the state.
Yeah, and they make it under the guise of we're helping you, the consumer, because your insurance rates have been skyrocketing and they're going to go down. I think when we have this conversation a year from now together, we're going to find out that those rates didn't go up. So when you hear tort reform, under the guise of helping you, tort reform really helps the insurance companies. In my opinion, this is the insurance company lobby going in and saying, okay, let's try to pass laws where people who are injured can't sue. I think it really helps the insurance company more than the individual, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Oh, without a doubt, there's no mistaking it. It's brought about by the insurance company. It benefits the insurance company. The problem is for the common consumer is they don't realize what's behind the curtain. And they don't understand how it's going to affect them in the long term. For example, the most recent tort reform bill took away people's rights to obtain attorney's fees if they beat their insurance company on an insurance claim. And most people may say, well, that's actually fair because the insurance company doesn't get to get their fees if they win the case. But what you don't realize is it's going to have a chilling effect on people hiring lawyers for the mid to smaller claims. Yeah. For example, if you have a claim on your homeowner's insurance and the value of the claim is maybe $20,000, good luck finding a lawyer with that because it's not high enough for a lawyer to take that case, and you're probably not going to be able to fight with the insurance company on it. They're going to lowball you with an offer and you'll have no choice but to accept it.
I think a great analogy, and you practice workers' comp, of course, is when back in the day they changed the workers' comp law to where they wouldn't pay attorney's fees either. Correct. And it really had a chilling effect on injured workers being able to find a lawyer because lawyers couldn't get paid. They couldn't make money on these cases. And all of your cases that you handle, no one ever strokes you a check at the beginning. You handle all of these cases on a contingency fee, even in the employment law.
This is true. Yeah, at my firm, we don't handle any cases on a retainer basis. Nobody pays us any money up front. And our promise to the clients is this. We won't receive any money from you unless we win the case. It's strictly contingency fee.
Got it. So workers' comp, employment law, personal injury.
Correct.
Kind of the whole shebang, huh?
That's true.
What is next? I've heard you're in Atlanta now.
We're in Atlanta.
What are the next steps for the Leach Firm?
Well, we'll just continue to serve the clients like we always have. At this point, we've had the benefit of serving thousands of customers and clients all over the state of Florida, now all over Georgia, but we'll continue to do the same thing. One side comment.
Yes.
You said most people hate their boss.
Well, maybe in my firm only. Yikes. I'm just kidding. No.
I hate my boss too.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Myself.
Oh, we have to look in the mirror every day too.
Me too. That's right.
I even shaved all the way. I was trying to change my my whole perception of myself today by shaving. You
How'd that go?
Shave or no?
It's all right.
She hates it. Anyway, Carlos Leach, great to see you, buddy.
Thank you to see you.
Welcome back here anytime. If you have any issues whatsoever when it comes to employment law, workers' compensation, personal injury, Carlos Leach, great guy. I'm proud of kind of the legal community that I think you and I kind of created around here. We're about the same age, sort of same size firms. Central Florida's legal community is pretty damn cool.
It is.
You know?
It is.
All right, Carlos, we'll see you soon. Here's what we're going to do. We talked about this tort reform, and we've also talked about how it affects your claims with roofing, and it's made a big difference. Joined by our very good friends Justin and Corey from Universal Roof and Contracting here in just a minute. And I will forewarn you that we were expecting the blue polos. They have black polos now.
It's pretty fancy.
It's a wardrobe change, it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do: a quick break. When we return, what do you do when your roof needs replacing, but the insurance company's giving you a hard time? And who do you trust when it comes to your roof? As Behind the Law continues.
Have you been threatened by the IRS? You are not helpless. You have the power to fight wage garnishments and fight levies on your accounts. I'm Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
If you own a house, it is your most valuable possession. You need to know what windows you have. Why don't you think about your windows? Do you have any idea that your windows really dictate your electricity bill every single month? There's one place to turn in this community for windows in your house, and it's certainly Renewal by Anderson. Dan Brigman joins me. You're family to me at this point. Let's be honest. I love you. I love your family. But the Renewal by Anderson family is what makes you so trustworthy. The culture there, it's a family, Dan.
Absolutely, Justin. And by the way, glad to be here. And yeah, it's our people, it's our process, it's our product, but it's our people more than anything. When we come out to your house, It's all about you. It's about we're going to treat your home as if it's our own. We're going to do the same with your family.
I put a QR code on the screen for you, and Dan is offering you an unbelievable deal today. If you go to the QR code, you're going to send an email. What do they get?
Man, they get, you buy one window, get 40% off the next, almost unheard of. We're excited.
Unbelievable. And then you talk about the electricity bill, because windows, I don't think people understand how important the windows are to the electricity bill every month, and the electricity bills are skyrocketing.
It's extremely important, and glass in your house takes up over 25% of the square footage of your wall space in your home. So that's the equivalent of one full wall in your house. Imagine sun hitting that all day long and all of that heat coming in.
A lot of people think window replacement would be very expensive. Sometimes we can do it for free. When you think about monthly payment over time, no interest, the money you save on your electricity bill, it's free.
Absolutely. By the time you put all the factors together, the energy savings, the curb appeal, the resale value, all of these things just add up. And then you got the financing that we have going on right now. Zero interest, 2.9, things that you just don't see anymore.
It's unbelievable. If you own a house, thank you, Dan, as always. If you own a house, you need to send us a message right now. You will not be disappointed. Renewal by Anders. Welcome back to the show. We talked before about tort reform, and clearly I think that the laws changing in Florida have had an effect on your insurance claim when it comes to your roof. Who better to ask roofing questions to than our good friends from Universal Roofing Contracting, Justin and Corey. New shirts, new gear. What's up, guys?
Yeah, you definitely previewed us.
Definitely thinning. I need some black.
New logo.
In my life too.
Honestly, that's why I suggested we wear black.
You're looking good. I feel like we need some Universal three-piece suits.
I've been asking for a hat for a while, but I'm still waiting.
Yeah,
they're coming.
You're on the list. Don't worry.
All right, good. So let's talk about it for a minute, because a lot of people who get a new roof, obviously they're filing an insurance claim. What happens though, really, is if someone notices something is going on with their roof, they don't know what to do. Unless they're watching this show or you've been out there, they really don't know what to do. And I think the first thing to do is to call you and have you come out, because you can really help them decide if it is an insurance claim, maybe it's not. I mean, shouldn't they call you first?
They definitely should. It all starts with a free inspection, and that's where we get to kind of identify the needs of what's actually happening on the roof. You will get a ton of contractors coming by that just drives everything to the insurance side no matter what, and they kind of just, you know, they spray and pray. They throw everything against the wall, see what sticks, but we don't approach it that way. We're going to show the homeowner exactly what's going on the roof and show them any potential storm damage that we've identified, because we're trained to see that kind of stuff. And then we walk them through the insurance process. If that's something they ultimately decide that they want to do, we're there to hold their hand through the entire process for them.
And by the way, if you've noticed any issues with your roof, or maybe you've even signed a contract with a roofing company, and you haven't heard from them in weeks, I'm putting a QR code on the screen right this second. Derek Moser is putting a QR code on the screen right now. Our producer, he forgot it one time. That's just why I'm reminding him right now during the program. And all you have to do is take your phone, scan that QR code, and it'll go directly over to Justin and Corey, and they'll come out and see you. Insurance is weird right now. It just is at the end of the day. But most people, if the insurance company is going to pay for the new roof, obviously we want them to do so. But if your roof is having issues and it's not insurance related, you still need to address it, Corey, because if not, it can create so much more damage.
Yeah, we see this all the time. You know, I think when COVID kind of sent everybody home, we started getting more calls because people were paying attention to their homes more because they were there all the time. You know, when you're busy though, you don't think about your roof.
Right.
You don't think about your gutters. You don't think about that soft spot that you might be seeing, you know, in the roof and what that might be doing. I'm urging people to not let it go down that path too far, because that's going to lead to interior damage. It's going to lead to mold issues. It's going to lead to flooring issues. We've seen all sorts of stuff happen just by simple little leaks taking its toll on your house. So even if you think your house is in great shape, but there's one thing on there that seems to be a red flag, that's all the reason to call, you know.
For someone like me who almost hates to pick up that phone, especially when it comes to roofing, because I don't know who to trust. I just don't, right? And you're scared of having people come into your home, and you don't know if they're trustworthy. I pick up the phone and I call you. You come to my house. Describe that initial meeting. What goes on that day?
Yeah. I mean, it all starts by scheduling an appointment around your convenience. So when you call us, we're going to see what time and day works best for you. Everybody has lives outside of roof appointments, so we're going to schedule that around your convenience. Once we get there, we're going to sit down with you. We're going to, hopefully get invited in or wherever, in your back patio, wherever you're comfortable. And we're going to talk to you extensively before we even get on your roof, just to see what exactly the needs are you're trying to get met that day. And then once we do that, we're going to do the roof inspection. We're going to take all kinds of photos for you and show you exactly how we're going to approach your job, how we're going to protect your yard, your house, your landscape, your neighbors' properties, and things like that. But ultimately, we're at the end of the day, we're going to have a design scope of work that's going to address either a full roof replacement, because if that's what you need, that's what you're going to get. Or if you just have a newer roof that just needs a repair, we'll design a scope of work for that as well. But at the end of the day, you're going to have all your needs met, and we'll give you some flexible, optional ways to get that covered.
You talk about design, but what is just some shingles on my roof? Why do I care about design, right?
Yeah, it's typically boring, right? Shingles are pretty boring. We have a lot of fun with it because we get to get creative and walk out in the yard, get on the street, look back at the house with the homeowner, and talk about the future of what their house is going to look like and the curb appeal, and are they going to paint it? What does the drip edge need to be, and what kind of shingles need to go on the roof to complement that color? Or maybe energy efficiency, those kind of things. We also have designer colors, which are a little bit more fancy,
Like
those kind of
Midnight
things. Midnight Plum. That's the Owens Corning color of the year. Good job, Caleb.
Nailed it.
Those kind of things. And so ultimately, it's a boring subject. It's something people don't want to spend money on. But the good news is when we walk away from it, your house is a much nicer version than when we showed up.
But it's not boring, really, because if you think about it, and I think a lot of roofing companies don't even care about the design. They just want your business and throw some shingles up there. This is your home, your biggest investment, and you hope that this is going to be the shingle on your house the next 20 or 30 years even. Right. It is pretty important, this design process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have that conversation in Link because it's we always ask, like, do you have any future plans to paint your house? Are you going to redo the driveway? Usually a roof replacement kind of sparks some more exterior changes happening around the home. And we've had people put on just god-awful colors that that's very conflicting with the existing color, but they are going to paint to match that. They just redesign the entire look of the home. The curb appeal of your house can change dramatically with a roof replacement.
I'm going to try to help Justin out.
Please.
Justin has sold every color roof except a particular. Called Chateau Green.
Chateau Green.
Yeah. So if there is a listener or a viewer out there,
I'm giving crazy discounts
that wants a green roof, please call Justin, because that's his nemesis.
That's my unicorn. I've been chasing
That's the only one. That's the last color
only
from the
roof
rainbow.
I have built is a Chateau Green. So if anybody listening wants to get a good inside discount on that one, give us a call.
Justin particularly.
Yeah, in all seriousness, if you have any sort of roof issues whatsoever, you need to call these guys right now. 321-282-1055. Again, the QR code is on the screen. Take your phone. It'll go directly to them, and they will call you literally today. There's really no other roofing company that we trust out there. I know there are other roofing companies, but this state especially has been inundated with some fraudsters when it comes to roofing. It just has. It is what it is. I know you're not going to sit here and bash your competition, but Universal is just different.
We are. 30 years in the game, we've been on the same ownership, same name since the very beginning. We haven't had to run from a bad reputation or anything. And we're on your show. We host our own radio show. We're very, exposed to the community, so we can hide absolutely nowhere. and we love that about us. It's a lot of confidence to be able to approach roofing in a way that shows the community like we're here. We're carrying all the integrity, all the licensing, all the things required to not only build your roof, but to actually, operate in the community the way that we do.
Yeah. I like to use the word accountable. We're accountable to what we do, and that's what makes us so special. And that's why on the front end, we sell things the right way. That's why sitting at your kitchen table and understanding what the actual problem is, and not just slapping something on your house, that's the wrong way to go about it. But to sit down and design it and come up with a scope of work and a process, that works for the homeowner is key.
Yeah. And we're often coming up with scopes that are a little different from other contractors because we're, putting feet on the roof, and we're identifying things that, from a satellite image or just a lazy roofing estimator didn't catch on the front end. We get to bring those things up to the homeowner and get that clarified up front.
And you educate too. Speaking of the 2 layers of synthetic underlayment.
Oh wow! Wow! You did have to use it.
I did have to look down. I was really proud. I know. I got nervous.
We're trying to educate Michaela a little little bit.
Yeah,
she's
on
getting there.
roofing.
It's a new code for like a year.
2 layers of synthetic
right?
underlayment is a Florida building code as of the last year or so. And so when we do your roof, it has to be peel and stick. And it has to have 2 layers, or excuse me, it has to have 2 layers of synthetic underlayment. And the key to that is when we walk away from a project, everything is up to code.
That's it.
So,
2 layers of synthetic
good job,
underlayment.
Michaela.
Yes, thank you.
Very technical today.
Yes,
Next
now I
time,
know what
can
to look for.
let's put it out on the table and see if she can really pick out what that actually is. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of and again, owning a law firm, I see clients in all the time who are angry with their roofing company and they want to sue their roofing company. Universal, I've never heard anything bad about you guys, period. Certainly no one's coming to my office, but in a lot of ways I think you're too big to fail because you are not going to let one customer go away unhappy because you have so many other customers that you are making happy. And I think that's very important when it comes to roofing. It is. It's important that they know you're going to be there to solve all these problems. And you have these warranties as well through your suppliers.
Oh yeah, because we're a platinum level contractor with a manufacturer like Owens Corning, we can actually offer our clients a warranty that's virtually unmatched in the industry. So it's a 50-year warranty, and the first 25 years of that is all non-prorated warranty for workmanship and materials. So
Wow.
for 2.5 decades, you have nothing to worry about on your roof, and only a platinum level contractor can give you that kind of warranty back.
It's unbelievable.
They just announced too that Owens Corning extended their algae and fungus warranty, where we see a lot of that growing on roofs.
Yeah.
Well, the Owens Corning duration shingles are algae resistant shingles, and they're so confident in that they've extended that to a 25-year warranty as well.
Pretty awesome. Justin Core, Universal Roof and Contracting, always a pleasure. I do like the new shirts. Still waiting on my hat. How do I get a polo there? That's asking too much.
get you a polo.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
That's the easy one.
Wow.
All right.
Don't worry about that.
I like this.
Maybe you guys can all match.
You have to go on a roof with us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I will do that.
I know. I talk about roofs. She goes up on the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we decided?
I'm the fun one.
We'll find a safe one.
Yeah, awesome.
do
Great
that.
job. As always, any sort of roofing questions whatsoever, QR code here, 321-282-1055. Don't let your roof go damaged. It's going to ruin the rest of your house. Payment plans, they make it so simple. Call them today. Quick break. We'll be back to wrap it up with What Did We Learn?
Are you worried about your student loan payments? I don't blame you. The great news for you is now we have more options than ever. Go to our website, youhavepower.com, to find out what options may exist for you and your student loans.
As always, today we wrap it up with What Did We Learn? Michaela, what did you learn?
I learned that Universal Roofing and Contracting is still my favorite roofing and contracting company. They're amazing. Taught me a lot. I mean, what more can I say?
think you already knew that, so I don't think
did.
you learned that. I mean, that's cheating.
I learned it again and
learned it
again
again.
and again.
Well, what about Carlos Leach? We love him. Great
Yes.
guy. What did you learn about employment law?
I learned that not all bosses are horrible, so you can't just be like I hate my boss and go sue them for like no reason. There's got to be a legit reasoning.
Yeah, I learned that tort reform is really taking over the state of Florida right now. You're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple of years for sure when it comes to tort reform, but it's kind of a weird spot when it comes to insurance claims with your roof or personal injury. It's a very weird time in Florida. You did a great job as always.
I appreciate it.
You got it. Special thanks to our crew here. They are the best in the business. Mostly thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for more Behind the Law.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.